Yes, everybody or and come back to a stream. Let me know if the audio can as well. Okay. Uh, I've made some adjustments to mic. I remember last show. I managed to get it working, so let's fucking hope there's no problems. There's no problems. Hopefully not. Bless up to everybody in the chat. Chat, hope everyone's doing well, man. This is the match reaction for Liverpool Brighton. Obviously, I couldn't do it on Saturday because I was out, and yeah, I just couldn't do it. And yesterday, feeling an absolute dross, if I'm being truly honest with you. But no, we're doing it today. We've got 3 streams today, so hey, what can you do? 3 live streams, you know, you can't go wrong with that. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk a bit about the club as well. Is Arne turning it around? I'm already seeing people posting videos and live streams about that. Is Arne turning it around? And I'm like, what are people smoking in their pipes? Obviously, this is the second stream since coming back from you know what. So, like I said, I explained in the last stream, streams are going to be a bit all over the place for a while, but I'm going to try and stream, you know, when possible and when I can ultimately. So, yeah, bless up to everybody. Hit the like button and make sure you are subscribing. Big up to everybody in the chat. Big up to Danny. Big up Reacts, lad. Fair play. Smashed us. Yeah. Bless up, G-Hib. Good to have you back. Bless up to you, bro. You're getting better. You could say that until about Saturday night, mate. Big up to Curtis, as always, my bro. Salah goal and assist. Hopefully some good form for him now. Suppose I just given player of the year already. Yeah, man. Sabosai is just unreal, isn't he? Hopefully Real Madrid jog on. Yeah, working now. Big up to Trudon in the chat, my bro. If we don't make Champions League, Sabosai will leave. Well, yeah, because I think, don't Sabosai want like 300 grand a week? Which I don't think he probably does, to be honest. I think you can give Sabosai maybe like 220, 230. And I think he'll ultimately accept. But chat, we are into the next round of the FA Cup. We are into the next round of the FA Cup. And it was a really good display on Saturday night. I was really happy with the performance. I thought a lot of individuals put in a really, really good performance, if I'm being truly honest. Obviously, this was the 3rd game I've watched in weeks. So I watched Man City. Who did we play after that? I fucking my mind's like dead. Who did we play after Man City? Sunderland. Big up to Yasser, my bro. Big up to you. Make sure you subscribe to Yasser TV, man. He's on the road to what? 2-3K? Absolutely smashing it, my G. Big up to you, my guy, every time. But no, good performance on Saturday night, chat. Good performance. I wasn't sat there stressed for once. And it was actually quite a good feeling that I could actually watch my team and not having to be stressed. However, I was about 2 minutes away from winning about 400 quid. Now, I'm not even a betting man. Someone I knew on Saturday night put a bet on for Liverpool to score in like the first, I think it was like 20 minutes. And it was offside. Just. And he said, if that would have won, you would have given me half the money. So, yeah, we got unlucky in that sense. But what matters is we ultimately got the win. To be honest with you, when it comes to cup football, I ain't asked about the performance. It's about getting through to the next round. Sorry. I've seen Liverpool be fantastic in cups and not win anything. Like last year in the Champions League, we were the best team in the group stages or league phase, and we get absolutely dunked on by Paris Saint-Germain. So when it comes to knockout and cup football, I'm just about get me through to the next round. I don't really care. And the fact that we had a really good performance to top it off with was really good. We'll go through certain individuals. Allison, good saves, very good saves in that first half as well. Allison's come under a lot of scrutiny in recent weeks. People saying we should sell Allison, people saying he's on the decline. I disagree with you, if I'm being honest. I think when you've got a defence that can't defend, you've got a midfield that's just got gaping holes through it. Funny enough, Allison ain't gonna be able to save everything, you know? So for me, with Ali, I think his contract's actually up this year, but he will sign that 1-year extension. And to be honest with you, as much as I'm not trying to cuss Mamardashvili is not ready to be Liverpool number one. I think in the games that Mamardashvili played in the games like the Chelsea game, etc., when he played about 6, 7, 8 games in a row, I actually thought he wasn't bad, but he's not Allison. He's not Allison, is he? For me, Allison is still the best goalkeeper in the world. I think you can happily take your pick between him, Donnarumma, Courtois. Take your pick out of them, whatever order. For me, Alisson's number one. He's pound for pound best. I think his distribution isn't as bad as people make out. Obviously, in my opinion, he's definitely the best shot stopper when it comes to one-on-one saves. And he's shown the consistency over the past, nearly decade now, since coming to the Premier League in, 2018. So for me, I'm very much happy with Alisson at the club. And I think you'll see massive more improvements when he actually has a defence in front of him that can actually somewhat defend. Although we have been okay defensively in the past couple of games. So I'm not going to go too hard in. Curtis Jones. Again, fantastic performance from him. Gets himself a lovely goal. Probably could have 2, 3 goals actually. Almost scored an absolute beauty. Just tipped over the bar. Curtis Jones was fantastic. And, again, this is another player that's come under a lot of conversations in recent weeks. People saying, should we sell him? Obviously, I believe he obviously was linked with Inter Milan in January. And for me, Curtis needs to stay at the club. Again, I can't believe that we was actually willing to let Curtis Jones leave in January. Like, I think Curtis Jones would have played a lot more if he didn't fall out of Arne Slot. We've all seen the famous clip on the touchline, do. And obviously the dots have been drawn because Curtis hasn't played anywhere since he hasn't started the game. He's had basically microwaved minutes. And for me, Curtis just put in a really top performance on Saturday night. Top performance everywhere at right back, everywhere in midfield when needed to be depended on. Got himself a goal as well. Really happy with Curtis' performance. And he's a player that I want to actually see stay at the club. I've always been a pro Curtis Jones fan. I know a lot. Curtis Jones is very Marmite in the fan base. Some people rate him, some people don't. Some people think he's crap. Me personally, I want to keep him at the club. I think everybody needs a Curtis Jones type player. That's they've got the versatile traits. He can come in, just do a job, steady role player. I actually think, to be honest with you, he's probably been, if we're talking midfielders, he's been top 3 midfielders for us this season. He's been better than Gravenberch. He's been better than Alexis McAllister. Obviously Endo, but because he's barely played. The only players that have been better than Curtis Jones is Dominic Szoboszlai, and that's really it. And if you want to count Florian Wirtz, you can. And nobody else has been better than Curtis Jones. So I'm hoping we can now see a bit of a rhythm with him because I've always been a fan of him, man. And it was good to see him get a goal on Saturday and get some actual good minutes. And he actually had 89 minutes. So I was actually surprised he stayed on the pitch for that long. Konate and Van Dijk, good. These two are actually coming into a bit of form lately, especially Konate. Bless up to Ibu, man. Obviously, again, condolences to him because obviously his father did pass away a couple of weeks ago. And ever since he's come back from that Newcastle game, from what I've seen, he's been absolutely fantastic. I didn't watch it, but from what I heard, he was really good. And obviously, I've watched back the highlights. He was good against Manchester City. He was a rock against Sunderland. He was good again on Saturday night. And I'm hoping now we can see a bit of consistency because I do think gradually results will improve when we see Kanate and Van Dijk being the partnership that they should be. Because going forward isn't really too much of a worry. Ekatike will get us goals. Isak is going to come back from fitness training. Hopefully Salah can chip in. Florian Wirtz as well. Do you know what I mean? So naturally, our overall performances and results will improve when the defense improves. And they've looked really good in the past couple of games. And I'm hoping now, from now to the end of the season, we could potentially see some consistency. Milos Kerkez, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I think he was my man of the match on Saturday. Could have again had himself a goal or two. Had a couple of shots. Was getting in the box, being a dangerous player, up and down the left-hand flank, using his pace ability to pressure defenders, winning the ball back. I thought it was absolutely fantastic, Kirkes. And again, he's coming into some really good form of late. And again, this is another player that came under a lot of scrutiny, people saying he's a flop. People forget that Kirkes has not only just turned 22. He's stepping up from Bournemouth to Liverpool Football Club. What are people expecting? What are people expecting? Do you know what I mean? So for me, I am very thrilled and happy with Milos Kerkez's performance, and I'm hoping again he can see a bit of consistency. McAllister, I thought was actually good. I thought it was one of his better games this season. If I'm being truly honest with you, I thought in the midfield he was very good, pinging some really good passes. Breaking up the defenses with his use when defending. He wasn't getting bypassed as much. Being like Fabinho 2.0. So I'm hoping that McAllister can come into a good bit of form as well because I'm not saying I'm a McAllister fanboy, but if we talk about fan favorites, McAllister's my fan favorite. He's one of my favorite players at the club, and I always want to see him do well. So for me, hopefully, we can see some consistency for him. That would be absolutely good to see. Szoboszlai. I mean, someone put in a comment, just give him Player of the Year already. Give Szoboszlai Player of the Year already. Let's not mess about. Let's not, waste anybody's time. Give Dominic Szoboszlai Player of the Year. Just give him it. Absolutely. Oh my God, that goal was unreal. The ball to Salah and then from Salah to Szoboszlai and the finish. Oh man. How much GA is Dominic Szoboszlai on the season to say he has not played as a 10? He is on 4 goals in the Premier League, 2 assists. He's on 4 goals in the Champions League and 4 assists. He got a goal in the FA Cup, in the EFL Cup. He's also got 2 goals in the FA Cups, I believe, as well. So that's 2 goals, 6. I think he's on about. I think Szoboszlai is on about 15 GA, which is very good for him. So I'm very happy for him. Big up Lewis, lad. I hope you're doing well, my bro. Slot gave the youngsters 6 minutes after being up 3-0 at the 70th minute. Yep. Makes me laugh. We need a stronger squad. Exchange makes it stronger. Yep, people want him sold. Yeah, people that want Curtis Jones sold, explain to me, man. He's on 17 GA. Yeah. And he's not even playing that as an actual 10. So Boslai has just been unbelievable this season. I haven't look, as you guys know, I've not been on YouTube for a while, innit? But I've been sent a couple of clips and I've seen people saying like, oh, Szoboszlai's just looking really good because the rest of the team's shit. And I'm just like, Apparently, he was on this form last season. Oh my God. They're desperate, desperate, desperate. Some desperate people, man. I can't lie. I'm not. Uh, oh my God. Some people actually genuinely think Szoboszlai as. Should I play the clip? Because I'll have to download it from WhatsApp. I might have to play the clip and expose these frauds. Gakpo, fantastic. I was going to say fantastic. No, Gakpo was bang average, if I'm being honest with you. I've sat and deeped about Cody Gakpo this season for me. You know, Cody Gakpo, right? I think one of the reasons as to why he has been so poor is because he hasn't had that competition. He hasn't had that competition this season, has he? He hasn't had competition. You know, I think that's one of the reasons why Gakpo was quite good last year, because he had the competition over Luis Diaz, who was always on his neck, and he was able to rotate between the two. And I think if he actually had a bit of competition, I think you'll actually see Gakpo's name improved a lot better, because ultimately he's not just going to be sitting there comfortable thinking, yeah, I don't have to try, I'm just going to get picked anyway. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for me, this is where we need to. It's going to be an interesting one with Gakpo. I think Gakpo, if Slot is still the manager in the summer, Gakpo won't be sold. If he isn't, I can see a world where maybe Gakpo gets moved on. I think Bayern Munich want him, so I would sell Gakpo for, let's say, how much did we buy Gakpo for? Yeah, Gakpo should be a squad player. As a squad player, he's good. How much did we buy him for? Only like 40 million. So it was like 40 million. 37 million. I reckon you can double your fee on him. I reckon you can get 65 million for Gakpo. I wouldn't sell him. Yes, I've seen Canate new contract. I'm going to do a stream later and talk about it in terms of what's my opinion on it. Should, you know, with Canate contract and everything like that. What else? Isak in fitness update as well. We're going to talk about that on the stream later. And also we're going to be doing the FA Cup 5th round draw. But no, Gakpo, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't like fantastic. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, I explained my reasons. I think Gakpo would actually be a lot better if he actually had competition to compete alongside him. Again, he's competing with Rio and Gamoa. No offense to Rio and Gamoa, but Rio and Gamoa right now shouldn't be a Liverpool starter. Rio and Gamoa should be learning to improve and gradually improve as a youngster that he is, because he's going to make mistakes. However, Rio should have had more minutes than he should have had this season. And I've been one of these people where I've actually told people about Rio for a long time. Everyone in the summer was like, "Oh my God, he's gonna be a starter for Liverpool in the next couple of months. You wait and fucking see." And I was like, I think people gaslit him way too early. Now that doesn't mean he's a bad player. I just think they gaslighted him way too early, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And by the way, he only came on at 77 minutes. I don't know how. Wirtz, I thought Florian Wirtz was good. Again, probably could have scored himself. Created a couple of chances. He's just coming into his form now, isn't he? You know, he's starting to rack up the goals and assists for Liverpool. And, you know, he's playing with a bit of freedom now, because now he's started to add a couple of goals and assists to his game. You know, he's improving. You know, he is improving, and he's just doing his thing, and I'm very happy to do it. So 1 second. We just type this up. 1 second, chat. But no. Where do we get to? Yeah, Verts, good. Chiesa, just okay, I suppose. There was a time I actually thought he almost got injured. See, the thing is with Chiesa, like, he's just not getting enough minutes to be able to build up that match rhythm. So for me, he's gonna get a bit of a pass because he obviously barely plays. So I'm not gonna go too hard on him. Mo Salah though, fantastic. Mo Salah was absolutely fantastic. Got himself a goal and assist. Could have had a couple of more goals and assists as well, if I'm being truly honest with you. I was watching Mo Salah a lot in this game, watching his positioning, and it was good to see that he was getting closer to goal at times. Obviously, sometimes he was dropping back. I do think, he does like players around him that can support him with the ball. Hence why you've seen that with Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai in and around him, supporting him, they doing the running power for him, getting closer to goal, and he'll get his chances. I can't lie, I did think the penalty was a penalty. However, I thought it was a bit soft on Mo. I thought, if I'm being honest, he knew what he was doing. Let's be honest, he knew what he was doing. He was going in there to try and get a penalty. But he does get himself a really good, nice assist as well. For obviously the Szoboszlai goal, absolutely fantastic. That's probably one of our best goals we scored this season. The link-up play, all the cross to the cross to Salah, then Salah to Szoboszlai was absolutely fantastic. Probably one of our goals of the season, if I'm being honest. Gomez comes on at 71 minutes. I thought he was okay. Ekatike came on as well. There was no reason to not start him because obviously we want to protect his fitness. Engamo, I thought maybe could have come on a bit earlier. And Calvin Ramsey and Trini only coming on at 89 minutes, I thought was a bit of the kick in the teeth, and for being honest. Like we was 3-0 up from 68 minutes, literally 2-0 up from 56. Maybe we could have brought on a couple of players. I would have liked to see a Van Dijk or Konate come off just to, protect them as well. But I'm not going to complain too much. Szoboszlai, I get it, him playing maximum minutes, because obviously he's not going to be able to play the next Premier League game, is he? So it just made sense to keep him. Obviously now he's going to... That red card could actually be really vital and really good for us. When you actually think about it in hindsight, Szoboszlai was fantastic in that game, right? You now go to our fixtures. What's the game he misses? We should be able to beat Nottingham Forest without Szoboszlai. So he won't be back until Feb. He's got literally 2 weeks off now. He's literally got... Oh no, he's already missed the game, hasn't he? Oh my god, chat, I'm having a mate. He's already missed the game, yeah. Because he got the red card against what's his name? Man City, and he's already missed it, which was Sunderland 1-match ban. So yeah, he will be back for Forest. For some reason, I thought it was more than a 1-match ban. Yeah, only 1 game ban, yeah. Soft, but gets pressed every game. Nothing gets called. No, clever for that. Kids will be sold in the summer. Yeah, it's unfortunate for him, isn't it? That, he's probably is going to be sold in the summer. 2 years at Liverpool Football Club, and again, not really been given a chance. If he somehow stays, I would be absolutely gobsmacked if I'm being honest. But chat, I do want to listen to Slots Presser, see what he said about the game. So let's get that up for you. Bless up everybody in the chat. Smash up the like button.
Dutch.
Hi, Arne. Mo Salah said that Dominic Szoboszlai is one of the best players in the world right now. Just wondering what your reaction is to that. Do you agree with him?
I think there are a lot of very good to elite football players in the world, but I definitely agree with Mo that Dominic is one of them. Yeah.
And I mean, you said last year that to play in midfield for Liverpool, you've got to score goals. Dominic's scoring more than last season. I mean, is that a way that his game's progressed, and is that something you sort of recognised and tell?
Yeah. When I said that, I maybe had to add, and you need to be able to run a lot if you play in the midfield of Liverpool. But I think what I meant was, as a number 10, you also need to produce goals. Now, he hasn't always played in the 10 position, but he is producing more and more goals. I think Dominic is a great example of the model we are using here at this club, and we sign young players from another league. In this situation, that was Leipzig, where he was already known for being a player that was really physical. But I think it's fair for me to say that the player that we brought in was already good, but where he is now, he's much more, at least better. I think much better than where he was 2.5 years ago. And that is what you get if you sign young players and you give them a bit of time and you let them play a lot. And that's why I also think that that trajectory he's been through is the same trajectory we can expect from other young players we are having that we've signed from other leagues. You can already see their progress. But I've said many times that next season or at the end of the season or in 2 seasons, players like Hugo and Florian, because these are the 2 that come from the Bundesliga, will even be better next year than they are already now, because they're already very good players for us.
Can you just ask you about Mo, because obviously he got goal and assist tonight, but his overall play, particularly in the second half, was maybe the best it's been for a long while. How impressed were you with him and his overall contributions at the moment?
It's very nice to have him on the score sheet again and him having an assist. But I think what I like the most at the moment, that he's scoring goals, is something you can almost expect. But he also helps the team a lot defensively, and that is something very positive. What the team also needs, and I think more and more players are now capable of playing at this intensity level every 3 days, and that is where we struggled a lot in the beginning of the season, where it was sometimes hard for us to bring the intensity level once a week, let alone every 3 days. But now we're able to do so. We see more and more the quality we are having, and that's why I've said so many times already that the future looks really bright for this club with these players. And I think the recent 7, 8, 9, 10 games are showing that as well.
That was Curtis's first start for just over a month. Filling in at right back, how do you think he did?
Very well. Curtis is a very good player. I've said this many times also to him, and he agrees with me, by the way. But unfortunately for him, he's playing in a line where I have many good players and also available. So if he would be playing in
why wouldn't you play him over like Alexis McAllister then? Because I can hear you not playing him at right back if Frimpong or whatever's fit. Cool. But why don't you play him in midfield? Curtis Jones, I think, should be starting for Liverpool. I think it should be Szoboszlai and Curtis Jones double pivot.
He would have played much more. But that's the only line, touch wood, where we haven't had our problems this season. And then you sometimes need him or other players in different positions. And so many times they've done well. Dominic has played so many different positions. Ryan played centre back. And now tonight, Curtis had to play as a fullback. And he did really well. It was very pleasing to see that the first goal was an assist of the left fullback to the right fullback. That probably tells you a lot about the intentions these players have when they step on the pitch.
I just spoke on the more. Obviously, having that disallowed goal must be frustrating for him coming on, because he was at least half yards outside there.
Yeah. That's the only thing that was not different compared to all the other games we played, that there was a referee decision that was not in our favor. So that has been multiple times the situation this season. But I also said many times when I sat here or at the AXA that we need to make sure that if decisions go against you, that you're still able to win. We have to become that good that we don't rely on the fact that against City there was not a red card on Gueye, or all the other decisions that are made this season that didn't went in our favor. And tonight, again, there was a decision that didn't went in our favor, which should have been different because he was on side, as you said. But we were still able to win 3-0. So now no one talks about it, although I don't follow everything, but I don't think there's been a lot about spoken about how many times we've been disadvantaged by referee decision this season. But unfortunately for him, because it would have been a nice moment for him to score a goal and for Cody to have an assist, because I think Cody played a very good game tonight as well.
Just off that, really, how did you find the experience without VAR? I mean, did you enjoy?
How did you find the experience?
In general, I enjoy watching football without VAR, because if you then score, you're like, it's a goal. So that was the same with the 1-0. I looked at the linesman and he didn't raise his flag. So I was like, that's nice. But then a few seconds later, he did raise his flag, which was correct because he was offside. And they also explained to me that he wanted to know who scored. The moment he heard it was Cody, he said, but then he's offside. So fair and good decision. I like VAR only for the clear and obvious things. And I'm not meaning red card, yes or no, for Gueye and Mo Salah, because that is, I thought it was 100-0, but I heard people saying that they could live with that decision. So even that decision was not 100-0, 80-20. So let's stay away from that. Only go to offside, yes or no, ball over the line, yes or no. And that for the rest, the referee the game. But yeah, that's my opinion. That's not going to happen, but that's the way I would like the VAR to be. But yeah, I think we're now so used to VAR that I would prefer to have VAR during a game, to be honest.
Quick one on Don, actually. Do you see all the attributes there for a future leader or captain over here?
Yes, but he's still young. And I think he has a lot of attributes already, especially if it comes to leading by example. But there's still a step to make in terms of leadership, being vocal, being a voice in the dressing room, if I compare him to Virgil, which is completely normal because Virgil is 34 and has seen probably James Milner, Henderson, and these players. So it's really good for Dominic that he sees Virgil as well. And that would be a next step for him to be as vocal and as loud as Virgil is. But that comes with time, I think. But for all the other things, he has a lot to become a very influential player for Liverpool, and you could call that a leader.
Water's injury is very unfortunate, and I understand it takes all time. But how long? I mean, can he come back in this season? Is there any chance?
There is definitely a chance, but he will be out for a while. But we cannot say exactly how long yet. That is sometimes that's different with every injury. Sometimes you can make that diagnosis straight away. Sometimes you need a few more days to see how things develop, and that last thing is with Wata. But he will not be in the squad next week, and he will not be in the squad next month. But we are hoping that towards the end of the season he has a chance to be there with us again. But that also depends on the upcoming days where that will lead to.
Broken foot?
We don't know yet.
Big up Lewis, lad.
First lie I've made over here.
They'll be doing well, my friend. So yeah, that was the slot press conference. I actually thought he conducted himself quite well. I actually thought he didn't chat any actual waffle. I thought he actually spoke very good of Curtis James. I thought he spoke very good of the players. Yeah, you know what? It's good to see because I don't want to be sitting here and getting pissed off at slot press conferences because, yeah, I'm absolutely sick to death of moaning about it. But it was a good press conference from Slot, and hopefully he can build upon that, and hopefully we can build upon this win. Obviously, the FA Cup draw is tonight. I don't know who's still left in the FA Cup. Let's actually have a look. FA Cup. Let's have a look who's left in the oh my god, I can't believe we're already seeing stuff like this, like what we're doing here. Surely is there like a who's still left in let's just type it on it. Who's still left in the FA Cup then? So you got a game tonight. So Chelsea's in it. Wrexham, West Ham, Mansfield, City, Norwich, Southampton, Newcastle, Liverpool, Leeds. They went through on penalties, didn't they? Wolves, Sunderland, Fulham, Arsenal, and then what is it? Macclesfield or Brentford. Can't I give me someone like a Wrexham? Give me a Mansfield. Give me a Norwich, a Southampton. Give me someone nice and easy for the next round. Because if we can win in the next round, chat, right, we'll be into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And then that's when it gets really interesting. If you can win in the next round, depending on who we get, obviously the draw's not till 6:30. We will do a watch along for it. For the FA Cup draw. But hopefully we can get someone like a Mansfield, a Wrexham, a Southampton, no disrespect, or a Norwich, because we should be able to beat these teams. Just don't give me Man City or Arsenal. Fulham, I won't mind. Sunderland, Wolves, yes, I won't mind them. Macclesfield, Brentford, I don't think it's too bad. So there's still some decent teams left in it, but there's some still teams where we can very much easily get past. So for me, if we can get one of those teams, it'd be fantastic. And then, you're in the quarterfinals, and ultimately you're one win away from an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley Stadium. Then the finals. Do you know what I mean? So you win this next game, you're 3 games away from a trophy. If we win the next 4 games, we win the FA Cup. So for me, the FA Cup has to be really much of a high priority now. Because if we're not going to get Champions League football, go and at least win me an FA Cup. You win the FA Cup, you get Europa League anyway, and you get a trophy. Day out at Wembley, bish bash bosh, you can't go wrong. But no, the FA Cup now has to be ultimately a high priority for Liverpool. Obviously, I don't know when the game will be played. I don't know. Would it be down on FootMob as of yet? No, obviously they're not even confirmed the draw tonight yet, are there? So as it stands, we've got. I think the game will get played. Let's have a look. When is the FA Cup 5th round fixtures? Saturday, right? So it's between March the 7th and the 8th. So in between that, we've got Wolves and Tottenham. Yeah, okay. We should be able to go quite fully strength then. Obviously, I think there will be a Champions League game in between that as well. So hopefully we can get fingers crossed and get lucky again, get someone like a Club Brugge in the Champions League. We are going to do some Champions League watch-alongs this week because I want to get back into streaming and do a couple of streams and stuff. So it's about building that back up. Do you get me? So you're looking at Liverpool's next 4 games, right? Forest, you should be able to beat them. Sorry, but you should. They're literally on their 4th manager of the season. West Ham are in a bit of decent form. However, we're at Anfield. Wolves, you should be able to win. You got to be winning your next 3 Premier League games. And obviously there'll be an FA Cup game and a Champions League game. So if there is a world where we can somehow win 4 of the next 5, I'll bite your hand off, because that means we're in the quarterfinals of both competitions, and we potentially going to be on course to get Champions League football. So the next 5 games are absolutely vital in terms of how our season is very much ultimately going to be planned out, whether we're going to be coming away with some cups, whether we're going to be playing Champions League football. And I think with us not being secure Champions League football as of yet, I think it makes our summer transfers very much difficult, to be speaking to players. Because if we start speaking to players now, they're going to be asking, well, okay, I wouldn't mind coming to your club. Are you going to be in the Champions League next season? Do you know what I mean? So there's massive pressure on us too. And I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, Haslott turned it around. Okay, cool. We played well against Sunderland. We beat Sunderland at home, the first team to beat them at home this season, and Brighton. But are we just going to forget that we've not been great for still? And I know people are now going to start gassing it up. We've only got 3 losses or something this year. Stop the crap. Man City, that first half was honestly an embarrassment. Newcastle, I will give you. However, first half an hour, we could have been 2-3 goals down. Qarabag, Tesco bag, little bag. Look, listen, we beat them, and that's what matters there. Bournemouth, we got pantsed. Marseille, we were good. So we're not even completely out the rut. For me to lay off Arne Slot a little bit, you have to go and win me the next 4 games. And bearing in mind that, again, like I said, that will include an FA Cup fixture in between there. And there'll also be a Champions League game or 2. So you've got to go and win the next 5 games. You go and win the next 5 games, then, yeah, we can have a conversation about you turning it around, because you'll be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup, quarterfinals of the Champions League, and you'll probably maybe be on course to get Champions League football. So, and bearing in mind, they've got a lot of injuries, Forest. Chris Wood, Victor Sells is out, Murillo's out potentially. So they've got some big players out, and they've just dropped points to Wolves, for fuck's sakes. Like, look, if we cannot beat them, oh my. If we cannot. Forest have registered 35 shots without scoring in their last match. Bro, they haven't scored a goal in 35 shots. And bearing in mind, Victor Piero becomes the 4th permanent manager for Forest this season. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Obviously, Endo is out. He's going to be out for the game. Bajcetic, he's not even played this season, has he? Frimpong, hopefully, will be back in a couple of weeks. Leonie's out for the season, same with Bradley. And as for Alexander Isak, we did get a bit of news on Isak in terms of what's the latest with him. There's been a lot of talk saying that he's going to be back. This is coming. Alexander Isak is expected to be returned from injury sometime around April, which will say Liverpool being the Champions League. We'll see them have him back for the quarterfinals. So if we can have him back for around that quarterfinals, it will be absolutely vital. And yeah, he's definitely getting to hopefully back to full fitness, because I remember Paul Joyce also said it as well. So photos of Alexander Isak. Yeah. Look at him, man. He's growing out the beard as well, I see Isak. Yeah, he's growing out that beard, innit? Look, he's growing out the beard. He's like, yeah, I'm coming back to be a fucking beast, mate. I'm winning you lot the Champions League. Man, I've missed him, man. I can't lie. People know I'm a big Isak fan, like how much I like him as a player and shit. Man, I just want to see him play football for Liverpool, man. And to have him back potentially before the end of the season is, yeah, it would be absolutely massive. Absolutely massive for Alex. And, I do feel sorry for him a little bit. Do you know what would be sick, chat? If we could play Newcastle in the FA Cup, let's hope us and Newcastle don't draw each other. Imagine Liverpool, Newcastle FA Cup semi-final or a final at Wembley, and Isak. Oh, Yes, please. Oh my God. Would Isak celebrate if he scored against Newcastle in the final? Would Isak celebrate? That would be quite funny to see if he would or not. I've heard mid-March, Bayern Space said it. Just saw something that Bayern made contact with Wirtz, but he made it clear that the journey in the Prem is not a short-term journey. Short-term journey, I'll check it. Who said it now? Florian Wirtz ain't leaving Liverpool. He's only just come to the fucking club. He only joined us in the summer. Do you really think Liverpool are going to spend 120 million quid? Say, yeah, you can leave in a year, mate. No, he ain't leaving anytime soon. He's not leaving anytime soon. But as for the Premier League table as well, I mean, look, we managed to obviously claw some points back on Brentford from the Brentford win. And obviously now for us, we now sit, 2 points off 5th, which 5th looks like it is going to be a correlation spot. So the race for top 5 is very much on. And obviously we're only 3 points ahead, 3 points behind Manchester United. And yeah, mad. What's Chelsea's next couple of games? Burnley, Arsenal and Villa and Newcastle. Chelsea have actually got a fucking... Whoa, that is spooky. Okay, take away Burnley, yeah, because they'll beat Burnley. Arsenal, Villa, Newcastle, Everton away, Man City and Man United. Then they've still got, Chelsea's back end of the season's looking peak. This is where we have to get top 5. It'll be a fucking embarrassment. And you look at ours. Ours are quite all right. Like, you look at the next 4. I think Liverpool can win the next 4. And that's not an understatement. West Ham might be the most difficult one, if I'm being honest, because of their form. But we should be able to win the next 4. Brighton away, early kick-off, though. Ugh. Fulham, come on, we should be able to get 3 points. Hill Dickinson Stadium, look, that's going to be a tough game. Obviously, in the derby. And then obviously the last 3 games is where it's the last 4 games for Liverpool is where it's tough. Man United, obviously, rivalry and all that. The race for Champions League, same for Chelsea. Villa, where are they going to be at? They might need the win to secure Champions League as well. And Brentford, they might be in, as of right now, they're in the race for Conference League and Europa League, so they're going to be fighting. What's Man United's? Everton, Palace, Newcastle. What's their back end looking like? I can't lie. I fancy us to get top 4. I think it's going to go Man City, Arsenal, Villa, Liverpool, or Man City. The reason I'm saying Liverpool Champions League is because it would be a disgrace if we genuinely don't get Champions League. We have to get Champions League football. And teams are fighting. Forest isn't going to be easy, especially with West Ham as well. Having those 2 back-to-backs, people are thinking, yeah, that's guaranteed 6 points. Not really, because you look at the relegation scrap right now. If Tottenham lose to Arsenal, Forest go above them. If West Ham beat Bournemouth, which is probably likely, Tottenham could go into the relegation zone within the next 2 games. This is what I mean. The relegation battle is going to be tight. And this is why we need to be getting the points on the board, because ultimately these teams, we don't want to be facing these teams right now. You look at West Ham's last 4 games. If you go based off the last 5, where are West Ham? They've won 3 out of 5. They've only lost once, and that was to Chelsea last minute, and dropped points to Man United. So they've actually been in somewhat decent form. So we got to do the business. If we don't get Champions League, then yeah, sorry, Slot, but you got to go, mate. You've got to go. There's no sugarcoating it in any sort of way. You've ultimately got to damn right go. But Forest, we do play them. When is that? The 22nd. The 20. Oh my god, what the fuck? The 22nd is Sunday, 2:00. So that North London derby is going to be a madness because oh man, we can't be losing to Forest, man. Oh, new manager bounce, great. If we lose to Forest, it's done. I don't think we'll get Champions League. Man City, Newcastle. Ooh, some decent games on this week. Any Friday night football? No. Then you got some games in the Champions League, haven't you? So I believe in the Champions League, we will either face the winner of Club Brugge Atletico. So we might do a watch along for that. And it's Galatasaray Juventus. So basically, let's say Juventus wins against Galatasaray and they knock them out, and Atletico knock Club Brugge out, we will be facing one of the two. So they are going to be one of the 4 teams that ultimately we will be facing in the Champions League. Because if you look, it's either us or Tottenham will get one of those 2 winners, or those 2 winners. Hopefully, we get put on that side. Fingers crossed, but yeah, I can't lie. I don't know which side I want to be on. I think if Bayern Munich are on, it's going to be tough, innit, man? Obviously, the draw still needs to happen, but obviously, we've only had the playoffs draw as of right now. But yeah, Champions League is going to be close, isn't it? Big up Nemens, bro. Bayern Space thing on interesting read. Isak scoring a goal against Newcastle in the final. I reckon he would celebrate as well, you know. Because the fans have been giving him shit. They've been calling saying Isak's a rat. Isak's a rat. Well, why wouldn't he want to live? Why would he want to fucking stay at your club when he can play for Liverpool? You absolute dweebs. Like, what are we doing here? That's like me having £20 in my wallet and someone saying, "Look, I'll give you £100 if you give me the 20 quid." Like, you're just stupid if you don't accept. Like, why would he want to play for your club? Like, what are we doing here? But, chat, we are going to wrap up in the next couple of minutes or so. We are playing Champions League. Forest can play Thursday night with the Europa League game. Oh, do they? Oh, so hopefully, no offence, whoever they've got then, they're absolutely knackered and drained for when we play them on the 1 game a week. The 1 game a week. 1 game a week sometimes really suits Liverpool. Sometimes we shit. Like under Jurgen Klopp, we used to love playing twice a week because it built up momentum and a good rhythm. So, yeah, chat, we are going to wrap up. Appreciate everyone for jumping in the stream. Again, we are trying to build up a bit of consistency now within the live streams. The travel to Turkey as well. Yeah, so they're not going to be back then really till Friday midday-ish. So they're not really going to have much time to prepare for the game. And to be honest, both games are absolutely vital because they need to stay up. And they want to try, that's a Europa League, they want to, try and go as far as possible or potentially even win it. So, yeah, I appreciate everyone for jumping in. I will be back live. What time's the draw tonight? What time is the FA Cup draw? Let's have a look. I accept. When is the FA Cup draw? The draw will take place, the pre-match coverage of so basically 6:30, and Liverpool are number 1. So these are all the teams that are in it. And the 5th round will be taking place then. Then it'll be quarters, semis. FA Cup semi-final is on my birthday. Liverpool, man. Bro, let's not talk. Man, read the chat, subscribe and like. But yeah, the FA Cup draw is tonight. We will be doing a watch along, so make sure you tune in for that. FA Cup semi-finals on my birthday. Liverpool get to the FA Cup semi-final, I begs. And yeah, then I'm absolutely depressed because we've lost. I'm actually depressed because we lost. So who knows? That might not be a. I forgot about the one on my cheek as well. I forgot about the one on my cheek. Shit. Oh God. But yeah, chat. Bless up. I will be back live at 6:30. Let's set up the redirects. Make sure you can smash a like on that stream. Redirect. FA Cup stream. Bish bash bosh. Bros in his name or era. I'm not really sure what you're on about, mate. This is my literal, yeah. But yeah, chat content for the week. We're gonna be doing the FA Cup draw later tomorrow. I'm not too sure what I'm gonna be doing. Maybe I will be doing a stream. I will do a stream tomorrow. Champions Leagues games, I might try and do something. And yeah, we're gonna be having content over the weekend as well, because obviously Premier League football. So we're just, like I said, man, obviously with the situation that's going on right now, I'm just taking it day by day, and I'm just enjoying the vibes. Do you know what I mean? Enjoying the vibes. So yeah, man. So yeah, bless up to everybody. Appreciate every single one of you. Hope you have a fantastic week, whatever you're doing. Yeah, man, appreciate everyone, man. Appreciate every single one of you, man. The support again on the last stream as well. That people have been showing me, man. Just remember, I do appreciate every single bit of it. So yeah, Wesley, I don't know what you're on about, mate. We'll catch this chat up later. Join me at 6:30 and we'll have a chat. But yeah, chat. Take care. Peace, and I love you all, man. Up the Reds. We're gonna win the FA Cup. I'm telling you now, and the Champions League, and we're getting top 4. So Barca is gonna get Player of the Year, and Liverpool are gonna sign. We're gonna spend another 300 million in the summer, and yeah, it's all gonna be good. But yeah, appreciate everyone, man. Man, we'll cut streams because of bro. Just chat. I love you all. Bye bye.